Solo home runs by the Yankees have been the story. O'Neill, Martinez, and Williams. And David Cone has faced 16 batters. He has struck out 7. He has thrown 59 pitches. How many strikes?
Well, in the 40s. And also look at this. Of his outs, the 7 strikeouts, the other outs have been in the air. Fly balls or pop flies. So he's yet to induce a ground ball out. So that tells you he's not a sinker ball type pitcher. He's utilizing a good fastball up in the zone.
Yeah, an exploding fastball. He's throwing it up. And it's been terrific for him today. Light rain now falling in New York as Paul O'Neill leads off. O'Neill with a solo blast and a strikeout today. He has hit safely in 15 in a row. And he and Williams in particular have had a red-hot homestand. The Yankees have faced the Red Sox, White Sox, Tampa Bay, and now the Marlins. This homestand, winning 6 straight. The Marlins have lost 10 in a row for the second time this year. Brian Dempster, the youngster out of Canada. He came to the Marlins in a John Burkett deal by way of the Texas Rangers. And despite the home run ball today, he has not pitched a real bad game. He's hung in there. He's had a couple of double plays turned to help him out. Here he walks another man, though, and that has been his bugaboo along with the homers. And in combination, they were deadly at Wrigley Field. When did walk a man give up a 2-run homer? Or walk a man give up a 2-run homer?
And I think of all the young pitchers, Brian Dempster probably the least experienced. I mean, last year he was pitching in Brevard County. He hasn't even had a full year at the AA level.
The umbrella's unfurled here as Tino Martinez stands in. A walk and a homer for him today. Dempster has walked 5 men, but he has not walked anybody right in front of a home run today. He just walked O'Neill, though. He gets the strike, and it's 1-1.
I was just thinking something as Darrensburg and Alfonseca warm up. Umbrellas in New York, as soon as it starts raining, it's one place you can find a guy selling umbrellas on the streets in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, they might dissolve, you know, they might come apart like paper. Like paper mache, but
well, because they also know that when it starts raining, you can't get a cab, so you need an umbrella.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a moral certainty in the city of New York. As is Tommy. Every time you get in one of those cabs, that light is on. Service engine soon. I've never been in a cab in New York that didn't have that light on. Every one of them. There are only about 8 million cabs.
That's because I'm not so sure the guys driving the cabs can read that either. So that's a whole nother story.
Oh, you got off a good line the other day. You said, yeah. But where it really gets dangerous is in hilly San Francisco. Every cab you get into, it says the brake light. Yeah. Service your brakes.
Service brakes in San Francisco, not a good sign.
The runner goes. The throw is low. Not a good throw by Zahn. A better throw probably gets him. But O'Neill comes up with the stolen base. His first of the game.
You know, Paul O'Neill doesn't steal a lot of bases, but he picks his spots. He's 7 for 7 in that department. Little bit of trouble getting it out of the mitt, and O'Neill sneaks in ahead of the throw. But again, you talk about the Yankees throughout their lineup. They have a number of guys who can pick up a steal every once in a while.
Bounded to the right side. This will advance O'Neill. Martinez retired 4-3. O'Neill to third base. So you're absolutely right. Derek Jeter is probably the best at it. He's attempted 15 steals. He's been successful 14 times. Darryl Strawberry this season has stolen a bunch of bases. He has stolen 6. That's high for him. He's only been caught a couple of times. Chad Curtis has stolen 9. He's only been caught 2 times. So they all pick their spots.
How about that bit of hitting by a guy who had over 40 home runs last year, Tino Martinez, giving himself up, pulling the ball to get O'Neill over to third base for Bernie Williams.
That's one of the reasons they have the best record in baseball. The infield in. And ball 1 on Bernie, who has walked and homered. So he's homered twice in as many days against the Marlins. His shot yesterday was the game winner, a 3-run homer. He's now hit safely in 9 in a row. He's had a tremendous homestand for the Yankees. And after a cold month of April, He did not homer in April. He busted loose in May, and he's still cooking in June. He's batting .485 on this homestand for the Yanks. 1 ball, 1 strike on him. It's a 3-0 New York lead as they go for the sweep. The Marlins already on this trip have been swept in Milwaukee and Chicago. O'Neill at third base. With 1 away, a fly ball will get him in. Check swing. He did not offer. It's 2-1.
It's a tough pitch to not swing at. You see Bernie flicking his wrist a little bit because sometimes you check that swing and you feel it in that lead wrist.
The 2-1 home. In there. 2-2.
Boy, the difference in that fastball and the one that Bernie hit out in the 3rd inning. That one started off the plate, moved on to the corner. The one that Ryan Dempster threw in the 3rd started on the corner, then moved back over the center of the plate.
Fouled away, still 2-2. But the Marlins, Rich Doobie spoke about this before the game, what they really want to encourage Dempster to do once he gets comfortable enough is to use his changeup more.
And that we haven't seen a lot of today.
Not too much at all. He's had the slider at times, the fastball at other times, but not many off-speed pitches. So when you know everything's going to be hard, you can wait for it. That one popped up, but Cliff Floyd will not have a play. It'll drop into the front row.
Well, I think a perfect example of that was Joe Fontenot the other day. We had seen him struggle a little bit, but the other day against the Yankees, he kind of put all his 3 pitches together, and we saw a lot more changeups.
But he spoke of exactly the same thing that you've talked about, Rich Doobie has talked about. Kevin Millar there, who's trying to get himself ready to return. And that is, they have to be more comfortable. They have to be comfortable in believing in themselves and knowing they belong out there. And Fontenot is really starting to get there. I think that start the other night did a tremendous amount of good for him. Tapped to first. That'll hold the runner. Lee with a backhand stab, and O'Neill goes nowhere. There are 2 down.
A big out right there and some nice pitches to a tough hitter.
So Dempster learning little by little, taking baby steps. Only 21 years old. Joe Fontenot with a tremendous effort the other night, and the man at the plate, Darryl Strawberry, was raving about him later. He said, you can tell he's going to be a real good pitcher. They really liked his poise and his makeup, so a lot of respect in the Yankee dugout for this guy, Joe Fontenot.
And you know what? That's nice for a young pitcher to, maybe if he didn't read it, have someone come up and tell him that Strawberry was quoted as saying that about him.
Outside, the count 2-0 on Strawberry, who is 0 for 1 with the walk. And Joe Torre and Don Zimmer were raving about Fontenot's performance too. They told Jim Leyland that was one of the best efforts by a right-hander against the Yankees all season. Got on and missed. 2-1. The Yankees said we felt like we were handled by the youngster. There's Zim celebrating 50 years in professional baseball this season.
Look at that. You're on the DL.
Hit by pitch.
Derek Jeter sitting next to Don Zimmer.
Well, the umpire is telling Strawberry to take his base, that he has been hit by the pitch. Had an idea that Darryl knew that. It nipped him, but he will saunter off to first base.
I think Darryl wanted a chance to pick up that run himself. He had to have felt this. It nicked him on that front shin. But I think maybe he was thinking that the home plate umpire, Tim Welke, didn't see it. Got a piece of Greg Zahn, too.
So runners at first and third, 2 down. The hitter will be Chad Curtis. The bullpen is quiet right now. Dempster trying to get out of this mini jam. Curtis is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded to third. And he, like like a lot of the Yankee players, kind of a get your uniform dirty style of ball player. Ripped and fair inside third. That will drive in O'Neill. It bounces to the corner and dives out there. Strawberry is into third and holding up. And Chad Curtis has an RBI double. His 29th RBI of the year. And the Yankees now ahead 4-0.
Hey, you get through some of those tough lefties, you sometimes forget about the damage that Chad Curtis can do. Looked like he set himself and got this fastball and turned on it. It moved in, and he was ready for it. You could tell by that swing he was looking for it all the way. And Cliff Floyd is expecting this ball to bounce out to him, and it kind of sticks underneath the fence. Doesn't really have a bearing on the play, but that's how tricky it can be in the left field and right field corners here at the stadium.
So Curtis with a double that knocks out Dempster. And Alfonseca will be brought in to pitch. It's time for the call to the bullpen with Bell South, and we'll be back right after this.
I'm Roy Hobbs, your new right fielder.
Robert Redford is making a major league comeback.
Fella, you don't start playing ball at your age, you retire.
Fighting against a tragic past and a scandalous affair.
Let them believe what they want to believe.
Sacrificing everything to be champion.
He said that if you played Monday, he could kill you.
All I've got left.
Kim Basinger, Robert Duvall, and Glenn Close in the sports epic, The Natural.
Today at 5 on UPN 33.
A struggling playwright makes a deal with the mob.
I wrote this play. You want to get slapped here?
Now Broadway Hit takes on a whole new meaning. John Cusack, Tracy Ullman, Jennifer Tilly, Diane Wiest, Chaz Palminteri. In a comedy too funny for words.
Don't speak. Don't speak. No, don't speak.
Nominated for 7 Academy Awards.
Ha ha ha!
Woody Allen's Bullets Over Broadway.
Tonight at 8 on UPN 33.
On the next Sentinel.
An inmate was murdered at Starkville facility. The authorities there are trying to cover it up. I'm going to go inside as a prisoner.
The Sentinel is about to take on an entire prison.
He doesn't leave the yard alive.
One inmate at a time.
The policeman's life is at stake. Yeah, you're dead.
Get ready for the ultimate fight for survival. The Sentinel, 5 heightened senses, 1 super cop.
Wednesday at 8 on UPN 33.
The right-hander Antonio Alfonseca relieves Ryan Dempster here in the 5th inning. 0-2 in ERA at 5.40. More hits than innings pitched. He's walked 8 men in the 20 frames, and now he'll face Scott Brocious with Yankees at 2nd and 3rd. 2 down and a run in. New York ahead 4-0. Brocious did not make it out, hitting against Dempster 2 for 2. Each hit a single. Alfonseca ahead here, 0-1.
And I think Antonio got the hint the other day when he was late in getting over to cover first base. It was a tough play. I thought Derek Lee was going to make the play, but Antonio kind of got caught in between, and certainly heard a little bit about that from his manager, Jim Leland.
Yeah, more than a little.
And that was the last time he pitched in the game in Milwaukee.
So you could say he's been iced a little bit, in a manner of speaking, but Alfonseca in here at Yankee Stadium. And he gets ahead quickly. The 0-2 to Brocious. Into the dirt. Nice save by Zahn. Ryan Dempster on the wild side today. 4 2/3. He does surrender the solo home runs, 3 of them. So far he's given up 4 runs. The runners on belong to him. And they will not score. A swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a good effort by Alfonseca, but a run in for the Yankees. And after 5 innings in the stadium, it's 4-0 New York.
It's no surprise that kids are catching on to the net.
Hello, Brian. How is your science project?
Or that a company would volunteer to connect schools and develop a resource that helps them discover their world.
I'm starting to love volcanoes.
What may be news is who created this education gateway. It wasn't who you might expect. It was Bell South.
Back to work, Romeo.
From big business to education, we put you at the head of the class.
Come on, let's go faster, faster. He's really driving us. He's killing us. I'm pulling away from you. It helps, though. I don't think I could do it on my own. I know. This is the longest I've ever stuck with a workout program. Well, they say motivation is the key. You can do it. Come on, you bunch of marshmallows. I don't see any sweat.
No wonder you can never get a bike around here.
This is what you're working for.
Every day I have to make a living. And probably like you, I have to budget my money and live within my means. So when I buy something, I want my money's worth. And if I'm treated fairly, I'll go back to that place again. You know, building a relationship like that is the secret to good business.
Present the True Value 4 for $34. You get 4 mezzanine reserve tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, 4 bags of peanuts, and a Marlins game program for only $34. Call 930-HITS today.
Of course, you can utilize that at any of the games. Of course, Roger Clemens tomorrow night against Brian Meadows. Good matchup with the Toronto Blue Jays in town, along with Jose Canseco. Youngsters, Sean Green, good-looking young player, Alex Gonzalez at shortstop. They've got some good players. They've struggled a little bit lately, but Toronto playing pretty good ball lately.
Here, 4-0 Yankees. Of their 6 hits, 3 have been solo home runs. Greg Zahn has the only hit for the Marlins today. So really, almost regardless of what Ryan Dempster did out there, it would have been uphill all afternoon against David Cone. Through 5 innings, he has struck out 7, given up 1 hit. He hasn't walked anybody, and he has completely shut down the Marlin offense, which has not been very offensive, at least not offensive-minded. Not today, and certainly not since the major trade. This is a Marlin team that simply will not bring up a lot of home runs or a lot of long flies to begin with. The Marlins are 3-15 since that trade, and of course that doesn't shock anybody. That was expected. Little fisted pop-up back at third, but that one will drift off into the stands.
Well, this has been a place where David Cone has always pitched extremely well. Lifetime at Yankee Stadium, he's 20-5. As a Yankee, pitching here at Yankee Stadium, he's 19-3.
7-1 for the season, but with a high earned run average for him, 559.
All coming from those first 2 games he pitched this year. Back door right there.
Beautiful pitch to nails onto the plate. 8th strikeout for David Cone.
Well, David Cone has not walked a batter. He's thrown various pitches, but look how he comes into the back door with this breaking ball right to the target of Joe Girardi. This is one of those. Greg Zahn wants that call when he's catching, but doesn't want that call when he's hitting.
He may have been reminding Tim Welke exactly that, hey, I want my guy to get that pitch too. It appeared to be off the corner. Greg Counsell, the hitter, 0 for 1. He's popped out to second base. And again, to restate what Tommy said last inning, there has not been a ground ball out by a Marlin hitter through 5 1/3. Strikeouts or flyouts. And here we go. Shot right to Soho. That's the first one of the game. 6-3.
Cone's starting to get tired.
Yeah, he looks exhausted, doesn't he? He's coming apart.
He's getting some sink on that fastball.
Yeah.
I mentioned those first 2 games though he pitched this year, and they were both against Oakland. One in Oakland and one here at Yankee Stadium. And in his first 2 outings this year, he pitched a total of 9 2/3 innings, but he gave up 16 earned runs. So that's why that ERA a little higher than it would be.
Of the 3 Yankee pitchers who have 7 wins or more, that's Wells, Pettit, and Cone. He's got the highest earned run average among them. But maybe if you look at his last 10 starts, he's got the lowest earned run average among them over that span. He's beaten the Red Sox a couple of times, in fact, back-to-back, so the Yankee fans are certainly thrilled by that. He beat them in his last start over 7 innings. He allowed 4 hits. And here, looks like he hits Dunwoody, got him on the foot. So Dunwoody will take his base on a breaking ball that bit Todd on the toes.
Well, he's also, David Cone had one 7-inning performance, and that was his last time out, and that was the longest inning of the season, or longest outing of the season for him, 7 innings. This pitch just gets away, and it's like it got somewhere on that ankle area more than the foot. That one hurt.
So Dunwoody on at first base. The Marlins with just the second base runner of the afternoon. Renteria hitting. I would imagine Cone has similar stuff today than he did a couple of years ago when he came back from the aneurysm. And he went 7 no-hit innings and came out of the game. And that sparked a very interesting debate around baseball as Edgar knocks a foul. It's 1-1. When a guy, even if he's coming off a long absence or a long stint on the DL, as he did, if he's throwing a no-hitter after 7 innings, don't you run him back out there for the at least until he loses the no-hitter? Or do you be very cautious with him, as the Yankees and Joe Torre were, and keep him inside the dugout and don't risk a further injury, don't risk him going back on the DL in his first start?
Well, I think that's what you have to do. You have to take him out. If you think short term in one game, yeah, maybe leave him in, but all of a sudden he's pitching here in 1998, maybe because of that. Yep. Maybe because he came out after 7 innings.
And David Cone had absolutely no disagreement with that strategy. He felt coming out was the best thing for the Yankees, and it was the smart decision.
I think it's remarkable that he's made the comeback to continue pitching.
Dunwoody runs. The pitch swung on and missed. The throw is into center field and gets away from Knobloch, who's backing up, and into third base is Todd Dunwoody. So that'll be a steal and an error. The error charged to Joe Girardi. So the Marlins have a runner down to third for the first time.
Todd picks up his first steal this year. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, but the throw not a good one by Girardi. And once Todd saw it get away into shallow center, that's when he headed over to third base. Like Soho may have been a little late in getting over there to cover, too.
The pitch to Edgar is knocked foul. There are 2 down in the inning, and the count 2-2. Edgar's average has taken a pretty good hit on this road trip, but so is just about everyone else's. Dunwoody hoping to score here and get the Marlins on the board. That's outside. Tim Wilkie, the home plate ump, who has had a very fair strike zone, would not give him the call.
See, to the left-handers, he tries to come in through the back door with that breaking ball. To the right-hander, he tries to back up that fastball on the outside corner.
Edgar knocks that one along first, but foul. Just lunging after it, trying to stay alive up there and make some contact. 3-2. Marcotte next, if we get that far, as he checks out the skies. And every once in a while, a little light rain, nothing heavy. At least not yet. We've had no delays. The payoff pitch. Outside. He went for the outside corner, trying to paint the black edge of the plate. But he didn't have enough brush. He wanted that call.
Nice patience, too, by Edgar to lay off of the pitch and not swing at it because it was down. Clearly a ball, a good eye by Edgar Renteria, and that brings out Mel Stottlemyre, Yankees pitching coach.
You know, we're talking about delays and a possible rain delay maybe in the schedule today. Yesterday, if you weren't with us, we actually had about a 4 or 5 minute delay in the middle of the game so that on the big stadium scoreboard in center field they could show the running of the Belmont Stakes, and they showed the race, and we stopped right in the middle of the game just to see that race, which the Yankees play for the fans here, and most of us have never seen anything quite like that. The game being delayed by something other than the elements.
Well, which I thought was absolutely absurd, but George Steinbrenner said if anybody wanted to blame anyone, he gave it the go-ahead, and he could blame him.
I guess in George's world, the horses are more important than what his baseball team is doing on the field. That may be the message that he's giving people. I agree with you, Tommy. I think that's pretty silly, and I think if you talk to the players who were on the field at the time in both clubhouses, I know this is true in the Marlin clubhouse, they felt it was very confusing and And a ridiculous thing to do, to stop a game to show the way. By the way, it was on tape, George.
Even George Steinbrenner's pitcher, Ramiro Mendoza, said that he lost a little of his rhythm. He likes to work quickly, and all of a sudden he had to stand out there and wait as that race went on. And we found out later, you're right, it was on tape.
Yeah, it wasn't even live. Outside, 2-1. But what would have happened had Mendoza really been affected, had he completely lost it? Let's say he gave up a couple of 2-run homers, and the Yankees lose that game because his concentration was disrupted. First and third, 2 down. Gansé chasing a ball outside, but it didn't start that way. That one really darted. 2-2. Dunwoody, the runner, at third. Edgar Renteria at first.
Well, I know Mark Kotsay, along with many others, totally surprised, too, of the outcome of the College World Series. USC defeating Arizona State 21-14. Final score.
Breaking ball, little bloop. That'll be caught by Brocious in fair territory for round number 3. A local break coming up now. The Marlins leaving 2 men on base. Their best chance to score today. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-0 Yankees.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? What up? What's up?
Weeknights at 7 and 11 on UPN 33.
Fitting in, schmitting in. The new RAV4. It's not for everyone. Only you.
Join the Florida Marlins. The 1998 Coca-Cola Marlins Kids Club wants you. Join today and get a membership card, a team photo, Marlins merchandise including a Kids Club cap, dog tag, and a lot more great surprises. Don't wait. Join the team now. The Florida Marlins Kids Club. Pick up your application at Pro Player Stadium or call 305-626-7293 today. That's 305-626-7293. Florida Marlins Baseball. Catch a live one.
Interleague play continues as Cliff Floyd looks to shoot down the Bluebirds. The Florida Marlins take on the Toronto Blue Jays Tuesday night at 7 on UPN 33.
One of baseball's best managers and nicest people, Joe Torre. His Yankees have a 4-0 lead over the Florida Marlins, and they've done it mainly on the strength of home runs. In the first inning, O'Neill goes yard.
Yeah, and in case you missed it, here's Paul O'Neill in the first inning after a double play, so 2 are out. So it was a big double play to empty the bases, so it was a solo shot by O'Neill, and then back-to-back jobs in the third after consecutive strikeouts of Ryan Dempster. Fastball out over the plate to Martinez. And a fastball down and out over the plate to Bernie Williams.
That one reaching the black bleachers. Only the 16th time it's ever been done at Yankee Stadium since the ballpark was remodeled. Now back live, Girardi just hit a little tapper to Counsell at second base. He picked it up and threw him out, so 1 man is gone in the 6th.
Next time we're going to talk to Joe Girardi and tell him to take a pitch or two when we edit those home runs together.
Don't you think you should?
Yeah.
I mean, let him know we've got a couple of highlights we want to show, and you just relax, Joe. You're ahead 4-0. Knobloch in this one has been hit by a pitch. He's drawn a walk. He also grounded out. They count on him 1-1. 1 down, bases empty. The Yankees with 6 hits. The Marlins with only 1 off of David Cone, who's been brilliant.
This is another one of those situations where the DH affects how you use your pitchers. And I'm talking about Antonio Alfonseca out there right now. When he came in the game last inning, he got a quick out, so he just pitched the third of the inning. But the bottom part of the order was up. In an Ashley game, his spot would have probably batted, so Jim would have had to make a move, or maybe make a double switch, or maybe have brought in another pitcher thinking he was only going to get a third of an inning out of him. So he really had to think in 3 different ways, as opposed to this way. You just bring him in and let him go.
Knobloch flies this one to left center. Woody looking up into a light rain. It's the second out. So 2 away with Soho coming up. Dell really has cooled off since we started off today. Temperatures into the 60s, a little bit of a breeze blowing out toward right. And lots of clouds overhead. The folks bundling up against the rain. They've seen a lot of umbrellas this afternoon. And that after a day yesterday that could not have been more spectacular. About 72 degrees, low humidity, lots of sun. It was gorgeous. Chopped towards second base, but Renteria charges and gets it. Al Fonseca sets them down in order, and Joe Angel comes your way next. That's the end of 6 at Yankee Stadium. Local break time. 4-0. New York in the lead.
Looking for an active guy? Kind of looks like this.
Look for Active Guy. He's only at Subway, next to our 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less. And for something new, try our Chicken Caesar Sub. Tender, all-white chicken with a great-tasting Caesar dressing. For a limited time, only at Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Nissan has $100 that says you're going to like our cars and trucks better than Honda and Toyota. The Nissan $100 Challenge. Just test drive any new 98 Nissan between now and July 6th. Then if you still buy or lease a new 98 Honda or Toyota car or truck, within 30 days, you get $100. So, are you ready for the challenge? Better yet, our Honda and Toyota. The Nissan $100 Challenge. Nissan must receive validated test drive form with required documentation by 8/31/98. Significant restrictions apply.
Every year, over 70,000 motorists are robbed at gunpoint.
Can I help you?
Don't let it happen to you. Tire Kingdom, the lowest prices on the street.
Well, the Fuller family has eaten its way across the South, and now we're heading home, with enough stories and recipes to fill a dozen cookbooks. We discovered Joe Pfeiffer's clam chowder, Jamie Morrow's amazing pot roast. We even rediscovered plain old chicken soup and a few other simple pleasures. Everywhere people opened their hearts to us, and that alone made the trip worthwhile. Bye-bye.
Right back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. As we go to work now, top of the 7th inning. And hello again, baseball fans. Joe Angel with Tommy Hutton. Boy, Tommy, I don't know. I mean, it's New York. It's dark. It's overcast. It's cold. It's not exactly good baseball weather here.
Well, Joe, enjoy it, because I know when we get off the plane in Fort Lauderdale tonight, we'll have a little bit of a shock with the temperatures in South Florida.
But that sounds good to me, though. We're going home after this one. I like that. Well, it's been all David Cone here today. He's given up only 1 hit. Marlins have had only 3 base runners. Cone with 8 strikeouts along the way. And now he is 1-1 to Todd Zeile. Of course, you can see some rain coming down here at Yankee Stadium. It's done that several times here so far today. And now 2 strikes on Zeile. Not only is it raining at Yankee Stadium, and all of a sudden it's become even more blustery here. And David Cone picks up his 9th strikeout. And now before Floyd comes up to hit, got a wonderful idea for you. Why don't we check out the Ford trivia question? Hall of Famer Red Ruffing is the all-time leader in victories at what stadium? Red Ruffing.
Be too obvious to say Yankee Stadium, but why not?
You're going to say Yankee Stadium?
Yeah.
You're going to fall for that bait? All right. I don't know the answer, but I'm not going to say Yankee Stadium.
I know why it's getting a little cooler too, because 6 of the 9 whiffs have been swinging.
Well, just touched that one, and so the count 0-2 now to Floyd.
At this stage of his career, they try to keep David Cone around 100 pitches, maybe a little bit more. The most he's thrown this year was 113, and that was just in a 5 2/3 innings outing.
Well, his longest outing was against the Boston Red Sox. A little pop-up, and there's Brocious. makes a foul ball catch. That was in his last start against Boston. He went 7 innings, and that's been his longest outing so far.
Well, they're starting to get Mike Stanton, the veteran left-hander, in their bullpen busy right now. So you would have to think that maybe they're going to really be cautious with David Cone here in the early stages, 1/3 part of the season, to maybe not let him go for the shutout.
And strike one to Jackson. He's 0 for 2, flied to center and struck out.
That was a look at that splitter. He's thrown a few of those today, but not a whole lot.
And now it is 1-1 to Ryan Jackson. Well, on the scoreboard, Andres Galarraga hit a home run today, Tommy, for the Atlanta Braves. He's got 22 now. Jackson waves at that one.
Boy, look at the whiffs. They pick up on things in a hurry here in New York, don't they? David Cone missing that start because of a dog bite on his index finger of his pitching hand.
Oh, he got the breaking ball. And David Cone is now in double digits in that strikeout column. He's got 10. Well, the dog bit him. But today, David Cone has bitten back. He gets him 1, 2, 3 in the 7th.
Hans and Elke Yeager had just moved in next door. So I thought I'd stop by and introduce myself. So how's it going? Couldn't help but notice they didn't speak much English, and that they were probably going to need some help setting up their phone service. Of course, as the resident phone guy, I knew Belsaw spoke several languages, including German. So I put Hans on the line while I continued to visit with his family. Never mind.
Hi, I'm Carmen Electra, here to explain Bud Rewards. Look for Bud points and packages of Budweiser, Bud Light, Bud Ice, and O'Doul's. Save them with friends and redeem them for great prizes, like dartboards, refrigerators, even a foosball table. And that's Bud Rewards. Any questions?
Could you repeat the part after, hi, I'm Carmen Electra?
Bud Rewards. Get the points, get the gear.
Maybe you can give me a private lesson.
Yeah, I need to be tutored, too.
Santiago, Montevideo, Rio de Janeiro.
In 36 cities.
Guadalajara, Sao Paulo.
Throughout 18 countries.
Buenos Aires, Guayaquil.
Across Mexico, Central and South America.
Mexico City, Santa Cruz.
With over 100 flights a day, no other airline in the world brings you the promise of Latin America like we do.
Caracas, Belo Horizonte.
Well, the middle of the order now for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Jim Leland is again going to the bullpen here. Job well done by Antonio Alfonseca. And now, Tommy, we get a look at the left-hander, Vic Derensburg.
Well, with the string of lefties due up, except for the interruption of Bernie Williams, a switch hitter, Vic Derensburg on to try to use that fastball and slider. And what a performance by David Cone to this point. 10 strikeouts. Throwing the ball well, and as I was just thinking between innings, I think, Joe, he's got some real nice break on that backdoor breaking ball that we've seen a lot of. I think instead of pine tar, he's using puppy chow. A good grip. It's working for him. Whatever works.
Well, he was bitten on his right index finger by that dog. But, hey, he's going to come back and pitch like this every time he gets bitten by a dog. He might want to make that a habit. Be a painful habit. But 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. He gives up only 1 single to Greg Zaun. He had a hit batsman, he had a base on balls, and those were the only 3 Marlin base runners. Now, Paul O'Neill has already extended his hitting streak to 15 consecutive games. And he did so with a bases empty home run back in the first. Gave the Yankees a 1-0 lead. They now lead it 4-0. Also had a walk in this game. So he has scored a couple of runs. Well, you look at this situation, Tommy, and right now the Yankees ahead 4-0. You got the Blue Jays coming into the ballpark tomorrow night at Pro Player Stadium. And with people like Roger Clemens and Woody Williams and Pat Hinkin, that's some awfully good pitching they're about to face.
Yeah, a couple of Cy Young Award winners in Clemens and then Henkin, and Woody Williams, a right-hander who's kind of unknown but has a 7-2 record. Actually has a better record right now than Clemens and Henkin.
And of course, the Mets will be coming into town next weekend. That's always fun to watch.
Yeah, by then Piazza will be healthy.
That's right. And hey, if you look at the pitching matchups, it's quite a possibility that when the Mets do get to town, the Marlins might be on a 14-game losing streak. If you look ahead like that, obviously, you'd see that happen, but it's a distinct possibility.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when Hideo Nomo is going to pitch. Marlins may see him in that weekend series, too.
So come on down. By the way, Friday's game against the Mets, that's going to be kids opening night at the ballpark, and kids can buy any seat in the house for only $1. And there's a $1 hit. A little dribbler. O'Neill will take it.
You can get those for 50 cents, I think. Well, once Todd Zeile knew he had no chance to throw out Paul O'Neill, that's why Todd just let go, hoping that maybe it would hit a pebble. If it gets on the dirt, it might trickle into foul territory, but he had no chance once he decided to pick it up.
Now here's Tino Martinez. Yankees ahead 4-0. So let's see, on Friday, that's going to be kids opening night. Kids get in for $1, and that's it. Anywhere. There's a call strike. Saturday at Pro Player Stadium is going to be World Championship Cap Day at the ballpark. And then on Sunday against the Mets is World Champions Banner Day. So lots of good stuff coming up at Pro Player Stadium. And now Martinez takes inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Hey, think about it, Joe, with a lot of New Yorkers in South Florida. It's been a big couple of weeks with this series at Yankee Stadium. Next week, the Mets are in town, and then the next weekend, the Marlins are at Shea Stadium.
We will be right back at the Grand Hyatt Hotel. A fly ball to left, but there's Floyd. In fact, Tommy, the runner now trying to advance to second base, and he is tagged out. Paul O'Neill tried to get to second base. He tried to catch Floyd sleeping, but he was not napping.
Well, that's good. Both Cliff Floyd and Craig Counsell not napping and staying awake, and you like to see that under these circumstances. So Cliff has it. Comes up right there. May have been caught a little bit, but he made a good throw. And Paul O'Neill just thinking, well, if I can catch him flat-footed, if the throw's offline, I can get myself in scoring position.
Yeah, but I think you're right, Tommy. I mean, he was not in a throwing position when he caught the ball, but he recovered and made the play. Now, the weekend at Bernie's continues. He's had a walk, he's had a home run, and he has gone 1 for 2. Had that big home run yesterday, too. The Yankees ahead 4-0. Right field, Kotze. And Derensburg faces only 3 men. In the Bronx, you're at Yankee Stadium. We're going to take a local break now as we head to the 8th. Yankees up 4-0.
Never before, maybe never again, will you find a deal like this. Right now, get the '98 Ford Explorer Sport for just $19,995. That's right, $19,995, loaded with features. Or lease the real Sport utility for only $279 a month. And for the first time ever, there are factory-to-dealer incentives that save you even more. So get to your South Florida Ford dealer today and let them prove you can't afford not to drive a Ford.
Ship your package in 2 days with FedEx. And you'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 days with UPS. And you'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 to 3 days with Priority Mail.
And there's just one price zone.
So, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Advertising, this is...
Hi, we're wondering if we could speak to Mr.
Hello?
Is this
Yes.
Hi, this is Jared, and I'm here with my friend Joshua. And we have a message for you. We just wanted to congratulate you on being such a successful tobacco advertising company. Hello? Hello?
Should we call him back?
Sure.
Marlin Baseball on the Marlin Television Network is being brought to you in part by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. You don't have to live thirsty. Life is a sport. So drink it up. By AutoNation USA, we make it easy to buy a car. And by El Dorado Furniture, a family working for your family. Here's Derek Lee against David Cohn, who delivers a call strike. Well, there he is, David Cohn. He struck out 10. He's given up only one hit. Marlins have had only 3 base runners in this one, and now he's 0-2 to Derek Lee.
You know, we've seen a lot of good fastballs, a lot of breaking balls, occasionally a changeup or a splitter. And I was talking between innings with Tommy John, who's a longtime major leaguer working on the telecast with Bobby Mercer for the Yankees. That's strikeout number 11. He was telling me that Cohn told him because of that dog bite, he hasn't thrown many splitters at all. Hardly, maybe 1 or 2, because it affects him a little bit. It's actually made him really work today and pitch. Tommy John won over 250 games. He knows a little bit about pitching.
Well, he's 11 strikeouts now for David Cohn. He'll go to work on Greg Zahn. The Yankees ahead here 4-0. Well, you look at the scorecard here today, Tommy, and you pointed out the fact that there's been only 1 ground out against David Cohn the entire game, and that came off the bat of Craig Counsell. He's had the 11 strikeouts. He's had about 4 or 5 fly ball outs, and right now has himself a 4-0 lead. Well, check swing, foul tap.
I'll tell you another thing that's worth keeping your eye on. I mentioned that Cohn is 35-11 as a Yankee, but he's never pitched a shutout as a New York Yankee. His last shutout came in 1995. He pitched 2 that year when he was pitching for the Blue Jays.
And a breaking ball got him looking, and that's strikeout number 12. Boy, he got the good bender at the knees. Greg Zahn has struck out looking for the 2nd time today.
Hey, we know one thing for sure. David Cohn has that key to the back door. He's been in there all afternoon. One hit, 12 Ks. Well, the only walk came in the 6th inning. Only time the Marlins had 2 runners on base.
Well, that 1 hit he gave up, by the way, was no doubt about it here. It was a clean single hit by Greg Zahn back in inning number 3.
I think you mentioned, Joe, at the very beginning of the game that Cohn has never pitched a no-hitter, but he's had 3 one-hitters.
Yep, he's had 3 of them. And he also had a game in October of 1991 against Philadelphia in which he picked up a career high of 19 strikeouts in a game. He's got 12 here in the 8th inning. So he's not going to come close to that. And, of course, in order for David Cohn to go ahead and throw a shutout, Tommy, he's got to be given the chance to throw a shutout. He has not had a lot of complete games. A lot of injuries. Well, he's 2-1 here, and now 3-1 to Counsell.
Well, you're exactly right. He got traded to the Yankees in '95 after he pitched a couple of those shutouts with the Blue Jays. And as a Yankee, he's only pitched 2 complete games.
Now 3-1 to Counsell. Now 3-2 on a foul ball. Well, you know what the crowd here at Yankee Stadium is looking for right now? They're looking for another K. After the game, David Cohn is going to go shopping at Kmart. He's got 12 of them right now. And the fans are looking for number 13. But he walked them. So So the Marlins have their 4th base runner, and now the top of the order comes up in Dunwoody.
He's going to go shopping at Kmart and buy his mother's dog anything that it wants.
Yeah, he's getting K rations today. Now the right-hander is Nelson. The left-hander is Mike Stanton in the Yankee bullpen. Dunwoody, and this game is 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. And he's become a strikeout victim his first time up. He also stolen a base. His first of the year. That one just a tad high. 4-0 Yankees. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Joe Angel with Tommy Hutton will be coming home after this one. We'll take on the Blue Jays at Pro Player Stadium tomorrow night. There's a drive hit to center. Bernie backing up, backing up, backing up. It's off the wall. And that's going to cost David Cone the shutout. Here's Counsell racing in to score. He got the walk. And it is now a 4-1 ball game on the Dunwoody double.
Boy, Todd Dunwoody's hit some balls awfully hard here at Yankee Stadium. Hit the home run yesterday, but he also hit a ball first time up yesterday and drove Bernie Williams to left center. This one, he thinks he might have a chance. Bernie with a little decoy right there. Didn't really matter because 2 men were out and Craig Counsell running all the way.
Now Edgar, a little breaking ball, fouled it away. Edgar's twice struck out. He's also been walked, so he's 0 for 2. Renteria slowed down a bit. He's had only 4 hits now in his last 26 at-bats. 4-1 Yankees now. Another breaking ball, and it's strike 2 to El Nino. Now the right-hander sends at the belt. Delivers to Edgar. Got him looking. And there's number 13. A fastball on the outside corner, but they do get one. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning in New York. Yankees up by 3.
I like that thing.
It's great for checking email. I've got to get to Chicago.
We're going to L.A.
American Airlines, this is Shannon.
It's funny. You never know where a call is coming from.
Just found out I'm a grandfather.
Oh, congratulations.
Just had a baby.
Or who it's coming from.
I've arranged for an agent to get you to the next...
You kind of have to be ready for anything.
How are they doing?
They're both doing fine, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Reed, for calling American Airlines.
That's what I like about this job.
Congratulations.
Making friends is our business was a motto that my grandfather created back in the 1950s when he came up with the slogan. Beer is about friendship, about relationships. It's about making friends, going out, meeting new people, and there's not a better beverage to do it with than a Budweiser. There are 500 million beer drinkers in the world, 80 million beer drinkers in the United States, and they must know something.
It's no surprise that kids are catching on to the net.
Hello, Brian. How is your science project?
Or that a company would volunteer to connect schools and develop a resource that helps them discover their world.
I'm starting to love volcanoes.
What may be news is who created this education gateway. It wasn't who you might expect. It was Bell South.
Back to work, Romeo.
From big business to education, we put you at the head of the class.
Back at Yankee Stadium. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees ahead 4-1. 47,731 in the ballpark here this afternoon. The answer to the Ford trivia question: Yankee Stadium. You were right, Tommy. Again. How do you do it, Tommy? Strawberry takes up and in.
I sit up at night and do a lot of reading on baseball history.
And a swing and a miss by Strawberry, and it's even up at 1-1.
And I guess a lot.
Yes, but they're educated guesses. Now 1-2.
Well, you probably didn't realize it. From 1930 through 1942 is when Red Ruffing pitched here. David Cohn upset that he gave up that 1 run, had a shot at that shutout. Be curious to see if he comes out to pitch the 9th because of that.
And he gets Strawberry looking. So Derrisburg picks up the strikeout, and now we'll go to work on Chant Curtis here.
Ben Ruffing went away for a couple of years, came back during 2 of the war years in 45 and 46, and also pitched for the Yankees.
Well, Jim Leland coming out. He will take the ball from Derrisburg, and he will go to the bullpen here with Curtis coming up to hit. The Yankees leading the ball game 4-1. They've out-hit Florida 7-2. And so we called the bullpen again here with Bell South.
It's no surprise that medical technology is going places it never has.
Thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Or that a communications company is helping bring the world's most innovative treatments to the South.
Do you see the cyst?
You were correct. It's attached to the fornix. What may be surprising is exactly who developed this extensive telemedicine network. It's not AT&T. It's not MCI. It's Bell South.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, it was a team effort.
From high-tech to healthcare, we're keeping you in tip-top shape.
Budweiser has 12 breweries located across the country. The Budweiser that you get from your local brewery is usually the freshest beer available in the marketplace. Budweiser sells very quickly. The average age of Budweiser on the shelf is about 40 days. Having local breweries ensures that your Budweiser is the freshest possible beer it can be by the time you purchase it.
You've done the math and figured out that you can consolidate bills and still afford to make some home improvements. But the lenders tell you that you don't have enough equity. Hi, I'm Dan Marino. If this has happened to you, call First Plus Financial at 1-800-510-PLUS. They'll lend you up to 125% of the value of your home, less your first mortgage balance. There's no application fees, and you'll get an answer before you hang up. Don't listen to those other lenders. Call First Plus at 1-800-510-PLUS.
United fans making a very special appearance at Monday night's game. The game tomorrow night against the Toronto Blue Jays out there at Pro Player Stadium will be Bell South Mobility's race car driver, Joe Nemechek. He'll be at Gate G before the game. It'll give you a chance to get your picture taken, watch Joe as he throws out the first pitch. And then you can cheer on Joe as he will challenge Billy the Marlin to what they call a friendly race in the 5th inning. Now, they say it's a friendly race, but we know that Billy takes those races very seriously.
Well, we know that. That'll be a good race to watch. I hope Billy's at home practicing right now.
He's getting gassed. And now Jay Powell will go to work. Tom, it's been a while since we've seen Jay Powell.
Yeah, the last time Jay was out was at Wrigley Field. And this is important for him. He needs to get work. He's always said he's the kind of pitcher that wants the baseball, and I think it helps him the more work he has.
Yeah, last time we saw him was in the bottom of the 9th inning at Wrigley Field in Chicago, and he gave up that game-ending hit to the pinch hitter, Jason Hartke. Single that drove in a run. Chicago won that ball game 2-1. See Curtis, 1 for 3, a double that drove in a run in the 5th inning. 4-1 Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 gone, no one out. Tomorrow night, Roger Clemens will be pitching for the Toronto Blue Jays. That's one to watch. Into shallow right center. Kotze will get there. That's out number 2. Atlanta leads Baltimore 7-0 in the 7th inning. Looks like Greg Maddux is about to become a 9-game winner.
I'll tell you what, I mentioned to you when we were talking about Maddux pitching in Baltimore at Camden Yards. It's a hitter-friendly ballpark, but when you have a unfriendly pitcher out there who has the kind of stuff Maddux has, he has a shutout going at Camden Yards. Amazing.
Now Brocious lines it over Renteria. That's a base hit. And now we'll take one more look at Joe Girardi. Bottom of the 8th inning here, Yankees ahead 4-1. Hey, the Cubs lead the White Sox 8-2. That game in the 4th inning, Chicago, the Cubs have beaten the White Sox 2 straight interleague play.
They're looking to sweep that series.
San Francisco trailing St. Louis 5-2 in the 6th inning. And, of course, the Giants have won 8 straight. And Noel McGuire has not hit a home run today. Not yet. Andres Galarraga did. He got number 22 for the Atlanta Braves in that game in support of Greg Maddux. So even Galarraga right now, Tommy, is ahead of Roger Maris's pace. And so is McGuire. And so is Vinny Castilla. And so is Ken Griffey. He's got 23 now. It's 0-2.
Yeah, I think it would be very interesting come September if 2 or 3 guys are all in the race. It might divert a little attention from Mark McGuire. Not much because of his presence, but all of a sudden if you have 2 or 3 guys with a shot, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch.
The guys brought their gloves on bat day. Got a souvenir.
He's got his radio with him, so he's got the ball game on the radio. He's got the glove on his mid hand. He's got the jacket to stay warm. He's in good company out there. And it is kind of cold in New York here today. Very overcast, very blustery. It rained on occasion throughout the game. Right now, the Yankees in command as they try to come up with their 7th consecutive victory. Runner going, and a swing and a miss to retire the side. So Jay Powell gets a strikeout. We'll take a local break. In the 9th inning, Yankees ahead. It'll be Kotze, Zeal, and Floyd.
Maybe you can buy yourself a mansion or that quaint little house next door. But you can't afford not to drive a Ford.
Right now, get a 98 Ford Mustang, America's legendary pony car, for just $15,200. Yeah, $15,200. Plus, get $1,500 worth of extra features like a CD player, power windows, and alloy wheels at no charge. So get to your South Florida Ford dealer and let them prove you
can't afford not to drive a Ford.
Well, the Fuller family has eaten its way across the South, and now we're heading home, with enough stories and recipes to fill a dozen cookbooks. We discovered Joe Pfeiffer's clam chowder, Jamie Morrow's amazing pot roast. We even rediscovered plain old chicken soup and a few other simple pleasures. Everywhere people opened their hearts to us, and that alone made the trip worthwhile. Bye-bye.
It's the True Value 4 for $34 family pack. All season long, you can get 4 mezzanine reserved seats, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, 4 bags of peanuts, all for $34. A great family value. We'll even throw in a copy of the Marlins magazine. So call 930-HITS today. That's 930-HITS and ask about the True Value 4 for $34 family pack. A great family value. Marlins baseball. Catch a live one.
Marlin Baseball on the Florida Marlin Television Network is being brought to you in part by Zephyr Hills Natural Spring Water. Pure water from a pure place. And by Publix. Always working hard at putting only the best on your home plate. Well, David Cone is coming out here at Yankee Stadium as we go to work in the top of the 9th inning. Very cloudy, overcast. And yes, K-rations today for David Cone. He's got 13 of them. 13 fish have gone down on strikes.
Yeah, we saw the one set of K's with the little puppies. Now the fish. Very creative here today at Yankee Stadium. 110 pitches Cone has thrown, 76 strikes.
And Kotze 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of pop-ups. Now the Yankees may be about to run their record to 44-13 if they get the final 3 outs here. Remember, they started 1-4, and so if they win here today, they will have gone 43-9 in the last 52 games. Wow. Fouled away. best start since 1953. They have now gone 22 consecutive series without losing one. David Cone looking for his 8th consecutive victory. And another strikeout. He's got 14 of them now. My goodness.
And how many, Joe, has he picked up on that backdoor breaking pitch?
Third baseman,
As a left-handed hitter, you think this ball is going to stay outside. It has enough break to it. Girardi frames it beautifully, and he gets another strikeout.
Well, he's got Greg Zahn on that same breaking ball twice in this game. Well, 14 strikeouts. Now go to work on Todd Zeile, whom he has struck out twice. Plays off the breaking ball. Todd Zeile, who was the only Marlin to have batted against David Cone when the game started, at least in the lineup today. He had gone 10 for 37 against him. Well, he is now 10 for 40 and a couple of strikeouts here today. 4-1 New York. 9th inning. 1 gone. No one out. Well, there's Knobloch backing up. Says he has it, and he didn't lie.
Well, we mentioned the pitches at the beginning of this inning. Now he's at 117. That's the most he's thrown in a game this year. And as previously mentioned, he's also trying to throw his first complete game as a Yankee pitcher, or his 3rd complete game. He'd already missed the chance to throw a shutout. That's right.
That was a good fastball. Where he's ahead of Floyd, 0-1. Now Cliff has yet to strike out in this game. In fact, he is the only Marlin starter today. No, let's see. He and Counsell have not struck out. He's got 2 strikes on him. Floyd 0 for 3, no strikeouts. Counsell 0 for 2 with no strikeouts. Well, he's got Renteria 3 times. He's got Kotze twice. He's got Zeile twice. He's got Greg Zahn twice. He's got Derek Lee twice. And here's the 2-strike pitch to Floyd. Fouled away. Well, the 47,000 fans are standing here in the Bronx. Here it comes. Fouled away again. We told you about his 19 strikeout game against the Phillies back in 1991. I'll go back and check out his recent strikeout games. Boy, this has to be among his best since that 19 strikeout game. Got 2 strikes on Floyd. And the fans here at Yankee Stadium are not going to be happy unless this game ends with a strikeout. And there's the guy, Tommy, who was supposed to start today. Little tapper. Cone gets the out. And this one is in the loss column. As the Marlins have tied their club record with their 11th consecutive loss. And of course, the Yankees winning this one. They've won 7 straight. And they are now 44-13. David Cone, his 8th consecutive victory. 4-1 the final score. We'll take a local break and return to Yankee Stadium after this.
I'm Roy Hobbs, your new right fielder.
Robert Redford is making a major league comeback.
Fella, you don't start playing ball at your age, you retire.
Fighting against a tragic past and a scandalous affair.
Let them believe what they want to believe.
Sacrificing everything to be champion.
He said that if you played Monday, he could kill you.
That's all I've got left.
Kim Basinger, Robert Duvall, and Glenn Close in the sports epic, The Natural.
Today at 5 on UPN 33.
A struggling playwright makes a deal with the mob.
I wrote this play. You want to get slapped here?
Now Broadway hit takes on a whole new meaning. John Cusack, Tracy Ullman, Jennifer Tilly, Diane Wiest, Chaz Palminteri. In a comedy too funny for words.
Don't speak. No, don't speak.
Nominated for 7 Academy Awards.
Ha ha ha!
Woody Allen's Bullets Over Broadway.
Tonight at 8 on UPN 33.
On the next Sentinel.
An inmate was murdered at Starkville facility. The authorities there are trying to cover it up. I'm gonna go inside as a prisoner.
The Sentinel is about to take on an entire prison.
He doesn't leave the yard alive.
One inmate at a time.
A policeman's life is at stake. Yeah, you're dead.
Get ready for the ultimate fight for survival. The Sentinel. 5 heightened senses, 1 super cop.
Wednesday at 8 on UPN 33.
Well, the Yankees win this one 4-1. Right-hander David Cone allows only 2 hits as he comes up with only his 3rd complete game as a Yankee pitcher. His 8th consecutive victory is now 8-1. Ryan Dempster, the loser, over 47,000 at Yankee Stadium on Bat Day on this Sunday afternoon. The time of the game was only 2 hours and 16 minutes. The Yankees with 3 bases empty home runs. Back with more here at Yankee Stadium right after these messages.
With Americans changing how they eat,
What looks good for dinner?
it's no surprise innovators like Publix are changing how they market.
I want some